So almost a month ago, Austin Evans released a video of the best $1,500 gaming PC. Now, I watched the video a couple of times, and after going through it, it's not such a bad build, especially the way that he explains it, that it's made more for gaming and stuff like that, and using VR and, other things. But sincerely, I thought it was not the best gaming PC for that price. Sincerely, $1,500 should be a PC that is good for gaming at 1440p and 4K without a problem. If you spend a lot more than that, you're gonna reach that point of just pointless. But I decided to do something about his build. So today we have the build of the week, episode 3. This is yet another $1,500 build, but this is way better in terms of performance. So without further ado, let's get into it. For the CPU, we have the Core i7-6700K. This is an epic quad-core processor at 4 GHz. With this processor, expect amazing frame rates and even good performance for editing video or streaming, which is kind of the reason why I chose it. A lot of you are streamers, a lot of you are high-end gamers, and a lot of you will record videos at the same time that you're playing games. So that's the rationale behind the i7. Moving on to the CPU cooler, we have the Cryorig C7. I've not changed this from the build of the week episode 1, but it is still a great CPU cooler that will keep the processor really, really cool. I've heard in the past that inside of the case that I chose, you can water cool, but it takes a little bit of case modding, and I would not sincerely do that. If you're more of the type of person that is willing to mod your case, you can go ahead. Bitwit made a video early on this year of how to mod your case to make the processor water cooled, so you can go check him out and his video out in the link in the description below. So moving on to the motherboard, we have the Gigabyte GA-Z170N Wi-Fi. This is a mini ITX motherboard that has built-in Wi-Fi. I mean, who wouldn't want that? It's from Gigabyte, so you know it's good quality, and it's on the Z170 platform. So you'll be able to get a decent overclock out of the CPU, especially if you water cool it. For the RAM of the build, we have the Corsair Vengeance LPX 16 gigs of RAM. These are two 8GB sticks of RAM at DDR4 3000 MHz memory. Now this is super fast memory, and it's actually really good. Now Austin Evans had 16 gigs in his build, but it was quad channel memory. So with this one, I went with single channel because the motherboard can only support 2. I mean, it's kind of, Anyway, so for the storage of the build, in the first build of the week, you may know that you cannot fit a full-sized hard drive into the case. But I completely forgot about something that already exists and has been around for a while. So for the hard drive of this build, we have a Seagate Momentus SpinPoint 2TB 2.5-inch hard drive. Wow, that's a name. So this is a hard drive about the size of an SSD, meaning it will fit perfectly inside of the build, and it's 2 terabytes, which is a lot. Now, this hard drive is a little bit more expensive than, say, a normal hard drive, but it is completely worth it. For the SSD, we have the Crucial MX300 275GB SSD. This will go alongside of the hard drive without a problem, and it still leaves space for an M.2 SSD in the future if you want one. The good thing about it is that it is super fast, and even though it's not that big in terms of storage, you'll be able to fit your OS and probably a couple of different programs or softwares that you need fast speeds on, like editing software, or just 1 or 2 games. So moving on to the video card, I chose the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1080. This is the G1 gaming video card, and it is sincerely a really good choice. Now this one is super cheap, one of the cheapest 1080s I've seen yet, at only $609, and yet it has the full GTX 1080 performance, if not even more. I've heard that the base clock of this certain model is the same boost clock of the Founders Edition, which in my opinion is really good. You can expect great gaming at 1440p and even gaming at 4K without a problem. Now the video card does have some orange accents, but you can't see anything inside of it, and sincerely it's going to be facing down, so it's kind of pointless to choose a card that has a great color scheme or whatever. So moving on to the case, we have the Fractal Design Node 202. This is sincerely an amazing case at an amazing price. This was the same case that I chose for the build of the week episode 1, and it is way smaller than the case that Austin Evans chose for for his build. Sincerely, the same size as the motherboard. I'm not even kidding. Anyway, this will hold everything without a problem, holding the hard drive and the SSD and everything else. So here's a part of water cooling your CPU. If you do cut a little piece of metal that's above a cutout for cables, you will be able to route the pipes for a water cooler, kind of like a Corsair H60 or H55, which is what Bitwit did in his video from earlier on this year, as I said earlier. Sincerely, if I were to overclock my CPU, I would seriously consider modding my case a little bit just to fit a water cooler inside of it. But then I would have to opt for a smaller video card, so I would probably change it out for the GeForce GTX 1070 Mini. This also is from Gigabyte, so expect great speeds, but even so, it is kind of a downgrade. So if you want to know anything else about it, or you still have any questions like I do, you can go over to Bitwit and send him an email or ask him a question in the comment of one of his videos, and ask him if you can fit a full-size video card along with a CPU cooler, a water cooler inside of this case, which I doubt you can, but maybe you will be able to. Anyways guys, almost at the end we have the power supply. I chose the Corsair SF450 watt 80 plus gold certified power supply. Now this is a very good power supply that would have absolutely no problems powering the system. So that is it for this build. Tell me what you thought about it in the comments down below and how it could have been a little bit better. If you think that it was a good choice for the storage or for the video card, let me know too. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you did not like it, you know what to do. Subscribe for more builds and more gaming related content. Also, today was the first and, well, so far the only time I've ever just done a video without a script. So if I did a semi good job, let me know. And the reason I did this is because normally about an hour and a half of script writing for me only turns into 4 to 5 minutes of video. So I decided to go with no scripting and try to do the best job I could. So once again, if you thought it was good, please leave me a like, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.